What it do? It's your girl Ashani, back at it again with another video. All praise be unto the Most High, y'all. That's my king. And let's go ahead and get right into this video. Listen, never let anyone underestimate your relationship with the Most High. Never let anyone make you feel bad about your desire to be close to God. Never let anyone make you feel like your closeness and your intimacy with the Most High is a problem. Because what tends to happen is people we'll say this, when you have that closeness and that intimacy, and when your spirit is sensitive to the things of the Spirit and the things of God, right? Your spirit is grieved at the things that God grieves at. Your spirit is frustrated at the things that God is frustrated at. Your spirit tends to hate the things the things that the Lord hates at times, right? And what this looks like for people who do not have that closeness with God, do not have that intimacy with God in such a way, like you have a deep relationship with God. I mean, you talking to him on a daily, right? You talking to him all day, every day. You lean on him, you depend on him for everything, right? You allow him in your life all day, every day. That's closeness, right? That's his presence in and out your day. That's his presence all day, every day, right? And what this looks like to other people, when you say certain things, and maybe you say something and it doesn't get taken the right way, it looks like, and maybe you've heard people say this to you before, you act like you're holier than thou, or you think you better than everybody else, right? And you know for a fact that that's not true, but people keep trying to write this narrative about you when you know it's not true. And you show up for people, the same people who would even say that to you. You show up for even them. You know, you don't even carry yourself in a way that says, I am holier than thou. You don't even move in a way that says you think you're better than anybody else. As a matter of fact, you walk very, very humbly, right? And so, of course, when people say these things about you, it's not the truth. It's not who you truly are. And so that's one thing I just want to go ahead and confirm to you, that this is happening because people do not understand what it means or what it feels like to constantly be in the presence of the Lord, to constantly walk in that closeness of the Lord, to constantly have the Lord on your mind, to constantly be in the Spirit, right? A lot of people don't understand that. And so they don't understand that just some things aggravate your spirit. Some things just don't sit well with your spirit, right? Just simple as that. Some things, because the Spirit of the Lord is in you, because that Christ that is in you, some things you're just naturally not gonna like because of that closeness you have, that intimacy you have with the Most High, with the Lord, with our Savior. That intimacy, it causes you to hate what he hates, aggravated at what he's aggravated in. You know, I don't know if you've ever found yourself, having conversations about God and, having conversations with someone about something, and you found yourself getting aggravated at the way the conversation is going. Aggravated, not in an argumentative way, because you're not a argumentative person. You're not a person that likes to debate, or what the word says, quarrel over things of the spirit, because you have a deep understanding of God, because you have that intimacy with him. A lot of people don't have, and they don't understand. So you may be in conversations and people are, debating things and this and that, and your spirit is upset and is frustrated because it's unproductive. It's not this. Your spirit knows that something ain't right about this. Something ain't right about this, right? And so there's different things, even when you're, around, family members, friends, co-workers, just people in general, right? Because of your closeness and your intimacy with the Lord, and even maybe you're someone who has a gift of understanding. Maybe you've prayed for understanding and wisdom, and you have a abundance of understanding of people. And when you try to provide some insight into a situation, or some insight into someone else's life, they tend to think that you think you have all of the answers. They give you this spirit of, you think you have all of the answers. You think, and even you think you better than everybody else because of your understanding. Understand that. Because those who lack understanding, meaning they can't understand how you have came to that conclusion. They can't understand how you have gathered this information up, how you figured this thing out. And it's coming off as, you think you got all the answers, but you really just have a gift of understanding, and they don't understand how that works, right? And so, chosen one, you have been set apart and chosen by God because of your commitment to the Father, because of your commitment and your faithfulness to the Lord. Not your perfection, not because you're perfect, not because you do everything right, but because you are steadfast and faithful to the Most High in all things. That you're steadfast and faithful to the Most High, that you're humble before the Lord, right? And you acknowledge him, and you do these things, and you do so many different things to keep the connection. You do so many different things to keep the intimacy. You always have the Lord in mind, right? And so when they say that many are called but few are chosen, this is why you were chosen, because of your faithfulness to the Lord. The Lord is looking for faithfulness. Faithfulness. And with all that getting, get understanding, because truthfully, nobody can be good and faithful, or goodly faithful, making up words, okay? Nobody can be rightly faithful without a understanding, right? Without a proper understanding. Because it takes proper understanding for you to really understand God, understand anybody. If you want to have a long-lasting relationship with anyone, you have to get understanding. You have to increase your understanding. Understand this. Knowledge is different from understanding. You can get knowledge and not understand what you get. You can get knowledge of something and not understand what it is you're receiving if you don't have an understanding. And so with all our getting, we must get understanding, and you've done that, right? And for those who lack understanding, they just simply can't understand your amount of understanding of things, right? And that understanding comes with intimacy with God, leaning on God, right? Because you have put in the work, you have went to God, you have brought everything to God, and He has given you the answer, and He has provided you with this, and He has provided you with that, and you are sober-minded, and you remain, clear-headed. You guard your spirit. You don't taint your mind with all of this stuff, irrelevant stuff. You have an ear to hear. And so understanding just comes to you freely, right? The Spirit of the Lord, as He poured it out on all mankind, you feel it. You're sensitive to that because you're not distracted. And those who have not reached this level simply just don't understand. And so we like to chuck it up to a lot of different things. But if you have people in your life who just are saying these little things about you, who are frustrated at you for whatever reason, chuck it up to it's a lack of understanding, okay? That's as simple as it gets. There's a lack of understanding on their part, and we can't be mad about it. Just pray that they get understanding. Pray that they receive the understanding that they need, okay? All right, guys, I hope y'all got something out of this. I love y'all so much. My dear chosen ones, on today, about to pick up the boys, and so I'm going to holler at you guys later. Bye.